From WBBZ-TV Sports, it's time to beat the champ. Now, here are your hosts, Paul Peck and Sue Novoitsky.
Welcome to week 2 at Lucky Lanes in Fredonia. I'm here with PBA champion Jack Jurek and our favorite scorekeeper Janelle Sabin. So a little lower scoring pace than we really expected, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And, you know, the guys, when they qualified, they had a lot of high scores, so we didn't really know what to expect, but these guys know how to transition to the lane conditions and do what they got to do to come out on top, and we've seen that with James Brown last week.
Right, and James Brown had to take on one of our champions, our great champions, Chuck Yezarski, last week, and he has to start this week with Mike Zarcone, so no easy feat, right?
No, definitely not. Mike has the most wins, so we'll see if James can beat him out and see how that goes.
Right, and you know, we talked about it a little bit before this, is you've got different styles of players, 3 very similar, 1 different. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, this show will be interesting. We got 3 guys that all like to hook it a little bit, so they'll probably be playing very similar parts of the lane. And then when Greg comes in on the last show, he's a little more down and in. It'll be interesting to see if the lanes get better for the guys that hook it, or if they start to cause a little trouble with some traffic and carry down and stuff, and maybe Greg will have a good show at the end.
Will transition be the name of the game here? I guess you're going to have to wait and find out. Mike Zarcone on your left. James Brown taking on yet another one of our Beat the Champ regulars, one of our leading champion, actually, Mike Zarcone, 31 wins.
This should prove to be a really interesting match. I think James was starting to get a little more relaxed, a little more comfortable on the lanes, but he's going to have his hands full with this one.
Yeah, and you know, I've seen the many faces of Mike Zarcone, and I know when he's
got
happy. I know. Yeah, I
read
can
him
read
like
his
a
moods.
book.
I can read his moods, and you know, I think he's here to play today. I really do.
Oh, that was left.
Wow. That's a great.
But that's one way to get in his head.
Yeah.
Reading my mind now.
Unlike last week, this is the first match we've had 2 players that play in the same area of the lane.
Yeah, this will be interesting to see what transpires with the lane. You know, things may actually start to open up and get a little nicer for everybody that likes to hook it a little bit more, or they could develop into something a little nasty. Okay, a much better shot, but definitely went much longer down the lane.
And we knew transition was going to play a part in today. That was going to be something to watch out for, especially with players playing that same area of the lane a lot.
It's always the one thing that fascinates me about our game is just how things change. No matter what the style, no matter who's out there, it's become a more cerebral game. I think you've got to think a lot more. I mean, you still have to execute your shots. I mean, you still have to bowl well and make good shots, but I think you have to really think a lot more and strategize a lot more than you used to.
And we welcome in, of course, Paul, who's been with us for the last show, but also the junior coordinator. Are you junior coordinator here? Head coach of juniors, Greg Haas. So you take care of the junior program here. How is that going?
Very well, very well. We've got, I think I counted 218 bowlers this year.
Holy
registered from ages 4 to 20.
Wow.
So
That's
it's a pretty good
fantastic.
program. We have 2 shifts on Saturdays. Every Saturday we're here. And we've got a lot of good bowlers here.
That is amazing.
That is amazing. What do you attest that to here in Fredonia?
I think a lot of it has to do with just we come in here and have a lot of fun, you know, and I think, and that's one of the things I say every time before they get started bowling is bowling is fun, and I think that has a lot to do with it. They come in here, they enjoy it, and we just try to keep them enjoying it so they keep coming back week after week.
So you say coach, which is kind of cool because I mean they're not just coming here to bowl; they're coming here and getting some instruction that's going to carry them through to keep them interested in continuing to improve, right?
Correct. I mean, we don't have a coach for every team, which would be nice. We have a lot of coaches. I'd say we've got 15 to 20 coaches here on a given Saturday.
Wow.
And a lot of them are just coming here to coach the kids. They don't even have kids in the program anymore, and so it's
They
it's
just
great to
volunteer
have
their time?
They just volunteer their time.
That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
we have a tremendous staff of people that volunteer for our junior program, and Mr. Haas over there is amazing. He's humble, but he does an amazing job running this whole program.
Well, obviously, you guys are doing something quite well to have those kind of numbers. I mean,
it carries over into, you'll see it develop into, because a lot of the high school teams, the kids just stick with it and work at it and develop some really quality bowlers.
and you develop some state champions out of the Dunkirk girls.
It's great to see, those girls, a lot of them started out as 4-year-olds in our Bumper Buddies program, and now they're state champions, and it's
That's
really
gotta
cool
be
to watch them progress.
Really rewarding for you guys to see that.
And you can see the younger, not just girls, but kids that see them, what they've done, and it makes them want to work a little harder to get there themselves someday.
So that's a great lead in here. What is the age range of kids that come in here to start in the junior programs?
Our youngest are 4 years old and 5 years old. They're in our Bumper Buddy program, so they come in and they bowl 2 games on Saturday for a couple of years, and then once they get a little bit older, then we bring them in where they're bowling 2 games, but they're not using bumpers. They're bowling for averages, and we've got a Bantam League, which is 6 to 8 years old. Then they progress to our Sunshine League, which is 9 to 12 years old. A little more competitive. Our Lucky Strikers League is 13 to 15 years old, so that's where they start getting into high school bowling as well. They're at that age where they can bowl for their high school teams. And then our Senior League, which is up until they're 20 years old.
Is everything handicapped?
Yes.
And handicap scoring?
All of our leagues are handicap scoring, yeah.
But that's great because they're staying. They're not getting mixed with people who are maybe at a different level, and that's discouraging too when you're not keeping up. So you're keeping everyone in their same age ranges. And
this feels like a good time to take a short break. We'll be right back with more action on Beat the Champ.
Instant replay on Beat the Champ is brought to you by Transit Lanes and Keglers. Join us for bowling, food, and drinks.
Welcome back to Beat the Champ. Let's get back to the action here on WBBZ-TV.
The differences between lane 7 and lane 8 for some of the guys. Lefty struggled on lane 8, the righties were struggling on lane 7, the straighter guys. Mike's gone at it with 2 different balls. Seems to be a pretty good formula.
Yeah.
wow, yeah, that was a great shot right there. So
James caught his first double.
Yeah, right now this is a key shot here. It's down 27. It's a chance to cut it to 17.
so you said he's using a bit of a straighter ball in lane 7.
A little shinier ball.
Shinier ball.
That was a big opportunity to get away right there. Could really put some heat back onto Mike.
That one look a little right of his target
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
It seemed to be his error in the first shows. When he missed it, he has a tendency to miss a little bit to the right. Down with 3 frames to go. Still anybody's game.
Right. That strike's big for Mike there. Obviously when you can get that strike up, you've got that opportunity to add that extra 10 on, but still close enough.
Great shot.
Right, when he keeps it in on that lane. For him, it's almost looking.
It does seem like he has to kind of keep it in tight a little bit.
It looks almost like straight up the boards for him.
For him.
For him.
It probably seems like,
him. Yeah.
Just a little less belly through the front.
Big shot here for Mike. Wow.
Great shot.
Not going to get much better than that one. Jumps his lead to 29, commanding position here. This is those opportunities where you just really want to keep the pressure on your opponent.
Right.
You don't give him any chance to breathe here.
what a great adjustment there using the two different balls, because we did see them just being subtly different, enough different to cause havoc and keep the scores down the first week, just by lack of carry, not for lack of hitting the pocket.
Always put the pressure on James. He's got to strike here. This is going to be a trouble. And he does.
Right now, and James thought he's got to throw 2 in the 10th here, make Mike show up. Anything can happen in this crazy game, even on a good shot. We've seen crazier stuff happen. We've seen 7-10s, 4-9s.
No question.
You just never know. So this is a must.
Great shot.
Kept right in his little tunnel there.
That's one of those things I've noticed after doing this for years, is that just people who don't bowl for a living that come up here and make these shots when they have to is amazing. Because there's a lot of pressure up there to win the match, and it's not what you do every day. And
Sure.
I love when they come through with those great shots when they need to. It shows how competitive people are, how competitive this game is.
And when you get them started young like you do, Greg, that's
right.
Yeah, it gives them a head start.
It's kind of hard to teach them that kind of stuff because we can't always put the pressure on them like that. But
It's
Right.
one thing you can't teach, and you just have to experience. So
That's
one,
exactly right. Yep.
you get them started early.
We have a
and-
lot of kids going to a lot of tournaments though, and they bowl
And that's
either
right.
as a team or as an individual. We've got our, through
There are
USBC they have the Pepsi tournament. We have kids bowling in that this weekend, and we've had some kids qualify for state championship for the New York State team tournament through USBC. And we also have bowlers going to the New York State proprietors scholarship finals next month for a chance to win a state championship there too.
Those are priceless experiences for them.
And then not only do they do well, we had a girl 6 years old or 7 years old last year win the state championship from our program. And she wins the state championship, but she's also getting scholarships. There's all those tournaments have scholarships attached to their
Right,
winnings.
and that's so much helps.
And that's one of the things that really I think helps keep this program going, is the parents know that our child has a chance to get some money for college.
Wow. That was almost another 4-9.
Yeah, that was almost a 4-9, which would have been, he would have to have made it.
Yeah.
Right, so that's the importance of striking out, right?
Yeah. Still has to, James throwing that double. You just never know what can happen.
Yep.
Still has to make a spare. Yeah, one pin, still has to keep it on the lane.
Keep it on the lane.
Oh, don't remind somebody of that. Even I'm not going to say that.
And there it is.
And we have a new winner. Mike Zarcone will defeat James Brown.
That was a good match.
Always fun when they come down to the last shots.
Yeah.
Almost.
We'll be back to talk to James right after this. Our little bit of Salamanca that we brought back from Central Lanes was finally defeated. What a great show you put on for us. Highest game of the tournament, though, 235, and not enough for Mike Zarcone, huh?
No, Mike Zarcone is throwing a good ball. Should have carried that 4-9.
Do you think that he chose to use two different balls on one on each lane? Do you think that had an advantage, gave him an advantage?
Yeah, his ball on 7 was going a little farther. I should have switched, but I was doing good all day, so just stay with what's good.
Yep. Well, we're proud of you. You did a great job out there. And Paul's got some money for you. It really added up.
Nice run. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for bowling. You had a great match. It was a fantastic match to watch.
Thank you.
Nice job.
All right. Well, you take a safe trip back home there to Salamanca, and we will be right back after this.
Beat the Champ welcomes you to Lucky Lanes in Fredonia, and we are here with the Dunkirk High School, a championship bowling team. We're here with Coach Donna. Introduce the team.
On the end, we have Rachel Galoniak. She's a sophomore. Then Olivia Corbett, also a sophomore. Taylor Skelly, an 8th grader. On this side, we have Hannah Almond, one of our seniors. Mariah Galoniak, a junior. Michaela Passerb, a sophomore. And Summer Clark, a freshman.
Well, we're here to celebrate a big win. Tell us where you bowled, who you bowled against, and how it all came to be.
After winning sectionals at Airport Lanes, we went up to Syracuse at Strike and Spare Lanes, and we bowled against Newark from Rochester for the back half of the day for the win.
And so everybody has their winning medals on. And so, Hannah, what was it like to bowl? Very exciting. That pressure must have been intense.
It was, and especially with all our family and friends there, like, cheering us on, it definitely helped boost our, like, our confidence, and especially we helped, like, deflect, like, Newark, and they definitely felt our pressure from that.
So they were feeling the pressure, and you were feeling the pressure, too,
Yeah.
but you came out big winners. How long have you been bowling?
I've been bowling on the team for 3 years. I know when I was little I was bowling and I took a break, but so 4 years from now, so.
So all you girls are from the Dunkirk area, and you've all bowled right here at Lucky Lanes, and you enjoy it. So most times people think bowling isn't cool, but it really is cool, isn't it?
Yeah, very cool. Yeah. I mean, you can't say that other sports always get a New York State championship, so.
That's right. The other sports don't always get the New York State championship. So you girls want to move on. You're going to move on to high school, and some of you girls are going to move on to college. Would you consider bowling as a sport to take up in college? Yeah, they will. These are the championship bowlers from Dunkirk High School here at Beat the Champ at Lucky Lanes. Girls, congratulations and good luck to you in the future.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for watching.
John Yezarski taking on our Beat the Champ champion, Mike Zarcone, who now has leading 32 wins here on Beat the Champ.
It's a pretty impressive number.
Yep. New face for us here. Not quite the way you wanted it out of the gate.
First shots on TV are always, to me, one of the toughest ones. That and coming out of commercial breaks.
Yeah.
Never been my favorite. But,
So it looks like he bowls league in
Cornell and
Geneseo.
Yeah.
Geneseo, New York.
Made a little ride up. So
Yeah.
Beat the Champ obviously has got some appeal. It's growing in popularity. Guys are traveling a little bit now to come out and try and get on the show. It's great to see. It's been an interesting matchup, I think. Two guys very similar styles, playing the same part of the lane. Was noticing, watching Mike warm up for this match a little bit, that he's already starting to lose the right lane a little bit.
Wow, what a great shot.
That is probably the one shot that just never.
I know, doesn't it? It
just
stings,
hits,
right?
It hits you in the stomach no matter who's throwing a shot.
Right. Even when you're watching it,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right about that.
You can't do anything better. Yeah, that's all you can do, and you throw a perfect shot. And crazy nuances of our game.
They say that, right, that the 9-pin is the only true tap, but this one feels.
Well, that was, it always was the 8-pin in a way. You see more 9-pins now because modern technology, bowling balls, modern rev rates, guys are creating more angle into the pocket. So you see 9-pins more because the ball is now driving through the 8, where in the olden days when the lanes were playing a little straighter, it would kind of go straight back and miss the 8.
Right.
Wow.
Okay.
So
you better not lose because I'm not interviewing him. You're interviewing him.
Pretty much speechless after that. I mean,
yeah, wow.
one is bad. Back to back is just, that's almost criminal.
Well, glass half full. He doesn't have a Brooklyn strike up against him because that's the final. That's the final blow.
Shots still coming in.
Oh.
But now you're sitting here for John coming off a split his first shot. Watch a guy go 8-pin, thinking, All right, I'm back in this now a little bit. You know, that could have been, he could have been down 20 real quick. Now he's got a chance to throw 2 strikes and tie the match up. That lane 8 looks like it's going to be the lane as the shows go on. I think that'll
breaking
be,
down a little bit, right?
Yeah, it's
A little
breaking
early.
down really quick. Guys are having to migrate to the left. Ball return starts to get in the way depending on your style.
So talk to me a little bit about that style of not using your left hand to bounce the ball or take some of that weight off. Doesn't that put a lot of strain on your forearm and make you kind of squeeze? I mean, I would feel like you would be squeezing the ball a little bit more.
It's definitely something you don't see very often. And the guys in the past that, the 2 guys I can think of off the top of my head are Carmen Silvino and Wayne Webb, that used to hold the ball down in the one hand, but not up. Holding it up like that, definitely, I mean, you have to use your big muscles. Forearm biceps have to get involved. It doesn't really promote a loose free swing, but this game can be played in any number of ways. That's the beauty of it. You can do it.
Repetition is the key.
Doesn't matter how you get there.
Seems like you would.
It seems like it would fatigue you.
Right, and that would be where your errors would be if your hand got fatigued and you missed it, basically.
Back 4 pins. Good shots, both of them, but definitely has to get his feet further left right now. And then these look like they're breaking down really quick.
Right.
But, yeah, right now you just want to fill your frame, move on. He's made a couple good shots.
So let's talk about mentally. When Mike goes back up to bowl, you know on a 4-pin you're going to make a move. You know you have to. You don't think you have to on an 8-pin.
Right now,
what do you think
no.
that is? What's
Hopefully-
your mindset? Just keep up. This looks like a good time to take a break. We'll be back with more Beat the Champ right after this. Welcome back to Beat the Champ.
If I do bowl some of the senior stops, our one stop is going to be a 34-foot pattern. I can see it maybe coming into play then at 34 feet because I need, it gives me enough. Now you were talking out of bounds. There actually is an out of bounds now, but it's created by the fact that the track now is hooking so much more that if you blow outside to the right of the track, there's, then you're going into the oil part again.
Interesting how a house shot, and we've seen this a lot over the years, how a house shot can actually evolve into a difficult lane pattern based on who's throwing balls on it, and especially when you get someone that's way to the right and someone that's way to the side. And I've just seen it so many times where and when you hit the pattern, where are you in the rotation of bowlers and how it's going to affect you.
Oh, sure.
And
there's so much that comes into it.
so there's no guarantee a house shot is just going to be this great scoring condition. It just depends on who's throwing what where.
Right. And if you get a show full of straighter guys that like to play down and in, they can actually make the lanes pretty nice for themselves. But once you start to mix in straight guys, hook guys, lefties, spare balls, oil starts getting pushed around, oil starts dissipating in the front. It leads to, can lead to some.
This is one of those situations where, you think, we talk a lot about how the high rev rate bowler has such an advantage because their carry is so significant, but this happens to them more often.
They also change the lanes a lot faster. Here we are. I mean, we're one game later off of a 230-220 match, or 230-230 match. Yeah,
235-244.
Yeah. So, in the blink of an eye, they went from pretty nice for the hook guys to developing into a situation where they're getting
So
kind of.
Can you predict how this will affect, like a Greg Voytovich who's going to come on and be a straight player?
Actually, cannot predict it at all. It could develop into something. Greg's very unique. He's got a kind of unique little style, a unique little twirl. He's always been a great shot maker. So he's gonna, if he gets a little part of the lane that his ball reads.
Well, I predict that he'll play the gutter.
I won't say I don't see him playing the gutter, but you
Like
know,
5.
he's going to probably be in that 7, 8, 9 range, I think, at the arrows.
Big shot. Oh, he liked that one off his hand.
Yeah, that one to me looked like he got to the right just a little bit quicker. Ended up having a little, you know, just coming in just a little late behind the pocket.
Well, when there's formations being left.
Oh yeah, no, I mean that's
Yeah,
you know,
you're happy that
you're taking your chances with
Yeah.
that. But for John now, it gives John a little bit of life. John's still got 200 in the making if he strikes out. Force Mike to have a double somewhere.
Well, along with what's going on in the lane, what's going on with the equipment. Oh, and there we have the Castellone Dodge Jeep Ram scoreboard. We saw Janelle showing the score update. Mike with a 22-pin lead with 3 frames left to go.
That was a great shot, John.
Great shot right there.
Looked like he almost kind of squared up his angle a little bit. Didn't really try and send his right quite as quick.
Well, it seems to me that would be his only chance. I mean, it's just too unpredictable.
Yeah, right now, big shot in the match too. This one to get himself just a thought in Mike's head. Again, all you can do is make a good pitch. Made a good adjustment on the lane, threw a good shot. A little unfortunate leaving a blower 7.
All right. Would you have stayed with the white ball on that lane?
Well, he did 5-count split on it, the last frame. So I think based on his reaction on the right lane, I think he felt his best shot at hitting the pocket was stay with the same ball. And he made a good pitch. So tough, a game goes by so quick.
It
Next
does.
score, John for 180.
Right.
Still Mike has to fill frames here, but 2 spares and it'll be over. Looking shot. Oh man. I don't know if Chuck feels sympathy or if he's just like someone else having the issues
What if they
too.
they're always vying 1 and 2, right? So Mike's starting to pull away a little bit from Chuck, and believe me, they care. They know.
Oh, it seems very obvious that
Nothing like
there's a
having
little budding.
the other one heckling you in the back.
Misery loves company, I guess.
Okay,
Right.
so.
Any kind of mark in sense here, and Mike will move on.
Right, we need a mark here. If this is any consolation, this is the time to be fishing around, and maybe if you're not going to carry, because this match still.
Well, right now, I mean, Mike can't afford to try anything yet.
No, I don't want him to try anything, but at least he's for his score being lower.
Timing of everything, not bad. Oh, gosh. Actually, you know, the score's not going to be very high, but he bowled a pretty good game. I mean, actually, just 1 ball out of the pocket.
You know he needs to make this.
Yes, he does.
Great spare. Great spare.
And now he has to keep it on the lane. And our other guy in the crowd reminding someone to stay behind the foul line.
Oh, we gotta love him. We should just have him up here and put a mic on him. All right, this for the win.
And there we have it.
And they all go down. Mike Zarcone wins number 33, and we will be back to talk to John right after this. John Yezarski, a newcomer here to beat the champ. You hit a wall of transition there, didn't you?
I did. The shot was tough out there. Then just got to throw good shots, and I didn't do that today.
It all depends when you show up. It's 244, 235, the match before you, and all of a sudden you can't even shoot 200 on it. So it's just just was timing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was timing, definitely.
All right. Well, Paul's got some money for you.
Congratulations. Thanks for bowling. Thanks for making the trip. It's quite a hike for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was how long of a drive was it for you?
A little over 2 hours.
Wow, that's dedicated bowling. See how us bowlers will travel to come to be on Beat the Champs. So, we enjoyed watching you bowl. Hope to see you again. And we'll be back right after this. All right, Greg Voytovich versus Mike Zarcone. Greg used to be, when we first started out, we used to see a lot of Greg, and it's nice to see him back on the show. Very different styles though we got here, right?
Yeah, this should be an interesting game, the way the lane's been transitioning. Watching him warm up, Greg was playing right around 11, 12 at the arrows. That one looked like it just slipped out a little bit to the right.
So he's got to be pretty accurate here, is what you're saying. It doesn't have a whole lot of room.
Well, that's really, it's Greg's forte for the most part. I mean, he's a little more old school shot maker type. Plays down an in game as well as anybody in the area.
One thing that's happened here so far in our 2 weeks is the higher seeded bowler has chosen to finish the match every single time. And that's unusual.
Again, for me, when I have the option, if I don't have a glaring difference in lanes, I prefer to finish first and let my opponent have to make the last shot if it comes down to it.
See, I think typically over the course of the 3 years we've been doing this, now into our 4th year, typically the higher seeded bowler is the one that starts. This is a very unusual day to have that person the picking to be second, finish the match.
Probably a confidence thing as well.
Absolutely.
Who wants the ball?
Right. Everybody's got their own way of handling that situation. I mean, some guys love to have want to throw that last shot.
It's like the last man on the court. Who do you want to have to win the game?
Personally, I'd take Michael Jordan throwing up the last shot.
Now I've seen a change in Mike's demeanor when he first started out. He was a little, I saw him a little bit smiley and upbeat. And that last match with all the taps kind of beat him up a little bit. But great rebound here, coming out with a double.
This game will give you the roller coaster of emotions, that's for sure.
No question.
We were talking solid 8s, solid 9s before. Here's something that I don't think Greg sees that often is solid 9. Mm-hmm. Great shot. He would be more to leave the solid 8 type. Straighter trajectory.
Straight, right.
Yeah.
I kind of missed the first shot. I couldn't see it from my angle, but was it a little high?
No, he left 2-8 on his first shot.
I'm sorry, not the first shot. The what left the 9 pin?
Oh, it's just a pinch high in the pocket, but nothing. Great shot off his hand. You take your chances on that. Yeah, take your chances on that one any day of the week.
Again, with the equipment nowadays, you see 9 pins from people you would never see 9 pins from before.
Lane 7. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, that just went right through the break point.
Yeah. Funny you mentioned something about equipment, Paul. Greg is one of the few guys. Greg will drill 1 or 2 balls a year, but he drills the same ball over and over and over again. He is a Storm High Road guy, and he's probably drilled a dozen of them. And he just loves that ball.
What ball?
High Road, the original Storm High Road.
They still make it?
Mm-hmm.
You rarely see that out of Greg.
Again, it's kind of a little unfortunate leaving a 4 and 8 combination for the right-hander. Just giving you that little bit of an opportunity to chop it off. Big chance for Mike to put.
The great equalizer.
Yeah, that was definitely ball reaction for sure. I mean,
there's
he's using a little stronger ball.
Castellone Dodge Jeep Ram scoreboard. showing up, cut that double off with a 10 pin right there.
Like using a little bit stronger ball right now. It controls the break point a little bit, but if it gets rolling like that shot there, it got rolling a little bit early, come in just a little flat at the pocket. But much easier to make a 10 pin than a Greek church.
You want to elaborate on controls the break point? No, we know what a Greek church is. Paul's told us.
Usually,
we cover that.
Right now, what you're starting to see a little bit is if Mike gets the ball to the right a little quick and hits the dry, the ball wants to respond a little quicker.
Correct.
You use something with a little more surface, the ball's rolling a little bit sooner, bleeds out some of its energy, and when it hits that dry, it'll still hook off of it, but it won't make a drastic move. If you use
But
a shinier
you
ball.
are sacrificing a little bit of hit,
Sometimes, yes.
a little bit of power in the back.
Yes.
That was pretty.
That's a better shot.
I think Greg's been on a few times, but I think, knowing Greg for as long as I have, he gets a little high for me. He was here pretty early today. He gets wound up a little bit. I think it takes just a few frames to kind of get settled into a match. And hopefully right now for him, he's kind of reached that point where kind of settled the nerves a little bit, just get into his routine and make shots. You see the speed on that ball, just a touch slower. I think his first couple shots on that right lane, he was a little amped up and just kind of pumped him through the break point.
Just got it up far enough to carry that out.
Yeah.
Big strike right there. I mean, that was important to not let Mike get too far away from him.
Yeah,
It's a 23-pin match, but there's a lot of time left in it.
it's always tough to be chasing, but you don't want to be chasing from too far back. Switch to the shinier ball, jumps a little harder off the break point, cuts a little too much for a 4-pin.
Yep, there's
you
exactly what happened, and you could see it. It came real hard off that break point. So we talk about break point, and that is the furthest right. I watched a little instructional video. The true definition is the furthest right your ball gets to before it starts to make its turn.
That is correct.
The action will continue on Beat the Champ in just a minute.
Instant replay on Beat the Champ is brought to you by Transit Lanes and Keglers. Join us for bowling, food, and drinks.
Welcome back to Beat the Champ.
It's almost kind of like the dog chasing its tail, just because it's round and round.
Yeah, that's why it just surprised me that urethane came back onto the scene.
I think it's only really made a resurgence because of the number of power players. Those are the kind of guys.
Oh, big trip 4 there. Even this matchup.
That's a Liz Johnson special.
That is a Liz Johnson special. And I say that every time I get one.
All right, so we got a 3-pin game here.
Yep, that was a big trip 4.
You can tell just kind of his mannerisms, he just kind of settled into the match.
Yeah, he's definitely more comfortable out there.
Yeah. Just, the ball speed and everything off the first couple shots has got himself right back. Now he's just comfortable.
But that's just a great testimony to a great player, though, because he didn't panic. He didn't come out of the gate and didn't get what he wanted and start panicking. I mean, you said he settled down into the match.
I think that's where experience comes into play a little bit. He's been around. He's seen enough things. He's been on TV enough times now to know. Maybe put a little heat on Mike, and there you have. There was a shiny ball. Got to the right a little too quick. Overreacted.
Yeah, let's mention Owl Homes of Fredonia. They make modular and manufactured homes. Big miss there. And very prominent in the community, right? Owl Homes from out here?
Yeah, they've been around a number of years. I remember them way back when I was a younger kid. They've, like I said, they've changed ownership, but they've been around forever.
It's great to see local companies helping us out.
Oh, there it is.
he made sure not to get that one to the right a little quick.
Yeah.
He definitely kept that one a little further left on.
I think that was good for Mike, just for his head, just to
Yeah,
keep his head in
just-
it. Get a little break back, and now he can work off that.
Big turnaround here. I mean, Greg can strike here and go up almost 30 pins, 29 pins. Three frames ago, he was down 23. That's how fast it can turn around.
That looked a little left off his hand.
Sure did.
Yeah. That was a chance. Those are chances you don't like to see get away.
Right.
He had Mike down a little bit, and
Those are the end of the game. You look back and say, if I only.
yeah. I think every match I've ever bowled, there's always, especially the ones that I've lost, there's always been a shot that just one shot you'd like to have back.
Well, good thing is it's just a 3-pin, not like a 310 or something.
Yeah,
It
considering-
really could have been a game changer.
Fortunate enough to leave a single pin. Still got a lead.
Yep, 18 pins. 18 pins, but Mike has a strike up, so again,
He catches a double, right back in it.
yep.
Key ninth frame here for Greg. I mean, he wants to make sure he throws a strike here. This way, he's going to get up in the 10th no matter what happens and have a chance to win.
Great observation there, Jack.
That's why he put me here.
Oh.
Pured it too. Sometimes, what's crazy about this game is some of the best shots I've thrown will do that. It's,
Yeah.
sometimes when you just really get it clean off your hand, it just gets that a little bit further down the lane, comes off the back end just a little bit stronger. It looks so good, but it's just not right.
Yep.
So now Mike's got a chance to get up and shut this match out.
Yep. These are the fun matches to watch, though.
Especially Mike now, this will be an interesting shot. He's had a little trouble on the right lane the last couple shots. Went flat 10 with the one ball, change balls went high.
Right.
Staying with the shiny ball. My guess is he's going to try and keep it in. That he
Just
did.
like that. Great shot.
Yeah.
Great shot.
Good call, Tony Romo.
Every once in a while I get one right. So right now Mike right now Mike can max out for 227.
What's he gonna do?
What's he going to do? He's going to keep it in.
Okay.
He's actually had a better look on this lane, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, getting that one in the ninth was big.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right there.
You could see, I mean, you could feel the confidence that came off of that one. That was a nice loose shot.
I was going to mention something about that lane, but I decided not to because I didn't want to put the Bo Burton on him. Hasn't missed
For
on
the
this
win.
lane.
Liking that lane.
Wow. What a comeback.
6 for 6 on that lane. Still has to get 8. I've seen you catch the wrong part of the lane at the wrong time. Anything can happen here.
And that's a winner.
Well done. I think that's why he wanted to finish on that lane.
There you go. Very job well done by Mike Zarcone. Win number 34. We'll be back to talk to Greg right after this. .227 to 222. Probably the best match of the day. You battled your way back from a little bit of a slow start, only to be confronted with a ring 10 off a pure shot. How do you see this? Do you think it was the beginning of the match? Do you think it was the end of the match? What do you think?
Well, I probably both. The beginning of the match, I chopped the spare, which I'd never make. The 4-8, the other ring 10 cost me, and I'm bowling Mike, and I knew it wasn't going to be easy. He's really, really good, obviously. So.
Well, you put on a great show there.
Yep. Thanks.
Well, congratulations. Thanks very much for bowling. That was a hell of a match to watch.
Thank you. Thank you.
On your way to transit?
On my way to transit right now. Got an hour to kill.
Jack, talk to Mike a little bit.
Mike, having to step up there in the 10th to shut him out. I know that was a good lane. You struck every shot on that left lane. Is that why you decided to finish on the lane?
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely left lane was better for me. The right lane's getting a little tricky, so that'll be my plan going forward.
It's been interesting to watch the transition in the lane so far in a couple weeks here. What are you expecting here? You going to be able to have enough real estate on the lane to move left?
I hope so. We should be okay. I can ball down if I need to.
Very good. Keep up. Great work.
Thank you.
Well, our winningest bowler, Mike Zarcone, win number 34. Can he keep going? We will find out next week. Stay tuned. Well, we're finished with week 2 here at Lucky Lanes in Fredonia, and we get to see our winningest bowler, Mike Zarcone, finishing up here with a great win. Scores were better. We saw him fight through some transition. Not unexpected to see him here, though, is it?
No, definitely not. And, you know, he likes going second because then he can really see what he has to do to come out on top and really beat that guy.
Right, like a champion, he has confidence in himself that he can come up and finish that match.
Mm-hmm.
And next week he's facing Joe Rubrecht, he's facing Rob Piccoli, and
Jason Shuby.
Jason Shuby. What do you see coming up?
I think a lot of similarities there. We got two more power guys coming in, and then Rob being the straighter guy. The first couple shows, we've had a lot of change in the lanes, and it's kind of a cat and mouse. We're looking for your ball reaction. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. It'll be interesting to see how these guys will adjust to the lanes and see what kind of scoring pace we have for the last show.
That's why we brought in the expert. So, you know, stay tuned next week to see if the next bowler can beat the champ.